by what the commission found with regard to that matter. It is very unfortunate that in this day and age, somebody can even have the imagination or idea of illegally acquiring public property. A widow, and also public property. Mr. Speaker, we're in this house to represent the interests of women. We were specially elected by Jubilee Party, and we shall fight for the rights of women of Kiambu County. Therefore, Babayao must go. On the third ground, Mr. Speaker, on abuse of office, I am shocked by what I've heard from Honorable Cyrus Omondi from Kahawa Wendani, and also the majority leader. And they have listed a number of companies that have been doing business with the county. And the shareholders of those companies are the relatives of the governor. Surely, in this day and age, should we even be talking about an impeachment? He should actually resign honorably. That is a clear conflict of interest. He has compromised public interest for the interest of himself and his family. And therefore, that is enough ground to impeach him. I do not wish to, as I stated, because much has been said by my colleagues. But in conclusion, I'd like to say that His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has set this country on a path of transformation. And he's working day and night to fight corruption. And this is his home county. And the fight against corruption must start here in Kiambu County. We are the mirror of the president, and we support him 100% in his quest. And finally, very finally, I'd like to state that we are the clients. Wanjiko is our client, and we are only here because of Wanjiko of Kiambu. And yesterday...
Honorable Kimani, what's the point of order for?
Mr. Speaker, there is some movements that I'm seeing in the House, and I don't think members are safe in this House. I could ask Honorable Ikonya just to sit on one seat. The movement that he's positioning himself, we are not safe. Because even when the member, when Madam Yvonne, Honorable Yvonne, was mentioning the figures, he was busy, like taking some photos. So I would urge you, Mr. Speaker, to rule him out of order. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Ikonya, you've heard the concerns of the members. I hope you stand guided.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, ideally that is why I got closer to a speaker, so that I would hear well. So, Honorable Speaker,
Honorable members, let us listen to Honorable Ikonya. He has the floor.
Yeah, and it would be wrong for a member to insinuate that I'm taking pictures while the proceedings are live and anybody can see. I need not to take any pictures because these proceedings are live and members of the public can see, anybody can see. So to insinuate that I'm taking photos, that would be wrong, Honorable Speaker. But all the same, I choose to stay here. Thank you.
Honorable members, let us continue with the debates on the floor. And I ask Honorable Yvonne to continue with us. Who has a point of order? Honorable Nyatu? Honorable Nyutu.
Honorable Speaker, you need to make it clear, not Nyatu. You know, that name is associated with the person that you want to impeach. My name is Nyoto Wamwere, not
Honorable Nyoto Wamwere, you have the floor.
Thank you so much. I think now, Honorable Speaker, we need a clear picture. Do we really have adequate security here? We have the Sergeant at Arms. I need to look into what maybe Honorable Ikonya is carrying. We do not know whether that's a phone because he was taking. We are just assuming that he was just taking the photos. Eh? We need to be guaranteed of our security here, Honorable Speaker, and you need to do that because we have the Sergeant at Arms which are ready available to do that job.
Honorable Newton, I want to say and state here categorically that the security of all the members in this House, in the presence of this assembly is guaranteed. So kindly hold your horses. Everything is in order. Honorable Yvonne, continue with your motion. Honorable Elliot, Thithia, what's the point of order for?
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Ukishaona mawingu ngojea mvua. Kwa sababu Mheshimiwa Ikonya asubuhi alikuwa ameketi pale Mheshimiwa wa Muheko ambaye ameketi pale. Alafu akuja kwa Mheshimiwa Kidimu. Alafu amekuja kwa Mheshimiwa Ginya Githefokoni. Sasa hatujui ama atakuja kwako ama kwa yule. Unajua siku hizi watu wameanza kujitoa kujilipua hii kwa sababu kuna wale ambao wanajulikana. Kwa hivyo lazima angaliwe na pia utulinde. Kwa sababu hatujui iko na nini. Kwa sababu wakati amekuja hapa sasa nimesikia mapu yangu imeanza kuchikana. Sasa niko nayo.
Okay, honorable members. I hear your concern. And since Honorable Ikonya has indicated that he is not going to move again, kindly be calm. And the security of this house is paramount and it is in order. Therefore, let us proceed with the submissions of Honorable Yvonne. Honorable Yvonne, kindly continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I think after that ruling, I do hope that, and in the wider context, I hope that Honorable Ikonya will not attempt to sit next to me. But I was on my last point about the public, and I stated that Wanjiko is our client, and we are only here because of Wanjiko and to advocate for the best interest of Wanjiko. Mr. Speaker, yesterday, we received several memoranda from residents of Kiambu, from about and even earlier before that, we had received several petitions from the public urging us to impeach the governor. It would be very unfortunate if any sober member of this house goes against what Wanjiko of Kiambu wants. Wanjiko of Kiambu has clearly pronounced themselves that they do not want Governor Waititu to be their governor anymore. It is time to revisit. So let us listen to Wanjiko. Let us support this motion. Let us impeach the governor, and we move on. It is time to rebuild our county, both for ourselves, for Wanjiko, and for future generations. Mr. Speaker, I rest my case and I support this motion.
The Honorable Iganjo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, for the purposes of the visitors who are in these premises, I wish to introduce myself. My name is Waiganjo Livingstone Wakifia, member for Kahawa Sukari in Loido Sub-County in our lovely county of Kiambu, a Christian by birth and a hater of corruption. Mr. Speaker, I also take this opportunity to thank the members of public in our public galleries who have sacrificed their time to come and witness these proceedings as we rest the rod of corruption and impunity to rest. Mr. Speaker, I thank the members of the fourth estate, and in that context, the members of press who are here, so that our electorate on the ground can clearly see those members of the county assembly that they elected. But they decided to choose a different route to massage corruption, to massage the masters of impunity in this county for the purposes of sharing the root that has happened in this county. And what is happening right now, somewhere in Bogoria, Barigo County, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as much as you have the quorum of this House, we are concerned about our colleagues who are incommunicado, and we are not able to trace where they are. This is a matter that should be taken by the security of this assembly, Mr. Speaker. We need to know where our colleagues are, and we need to know whether they are safe, Mr. Speaker. Honorable members, a time has come that we must stand with the truth and be counted as the true servants of the people. And Honorable Speaker, this county has been led by Governor Waititu, left, right, and finally he has settled at the center, immobilizing the movement of this county. And this is what has brought about the impeachment of this county. Mr. Speaker, as leaders of this county, we are ashamed that barely 2.5 years, the same person we entrusted with our resources, we are impeaching him today. This is the same person who has misappropriated billions of shillings for the young people, that is our youths, for our farmers, and finally, Mr. Speaker, the porridge of our kindergarten children has been taken away. Mr. Speaker, this county does not belong to the members of this assembly. Neither does it belong to the members of parliament of this county, nor does it belong to the governor or the deputy or the executive. This county belongs to the residents of Kiambu, and we are only servants to take care of them. Mr. Honorable Speaker, there's a colossal amount of money that has been lost in this county. And I don't want to dwell back in that because the mover of the motion has clearly indicated that. Mr. Speaker, it is not because this county does not collect revenue. Kiambu County is one county that collects a lot of revenue. But the revenue collection systems has been distorted in a way that we have our income generating places, all resources, like the quarries we have in Juja, where we have over 70 quarries, but it is only 3 or 4 quarries that we realize the revenue coming to this county. Mr. Speaker, those quarries are controlled by mafias who are families related to the governor of this county. Mr. Speaker, we must stand by the truth and point where the problem is. Mr. Speaker, as a result of the mismanagement of these resources of this county, we have witnessed our contractors and our service providers, Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Ikonya, what's the point of order?
Honorable Speaker, I raise a point of order because this house is a house that is ruled by, rather we live by the rule of law. And being a house that is ruled by the rule of law, statute becomes a very important aspect of the proceedings of this house. Honorable Speaker, I want you to rule one thing. I am looking at this motion, the motion that is before this house, and you have appended your signature on it for the motion, and you're still presiding this session. Would that amount to a conflict of interest? Because you've already assented your signature to this motion for the removal of the governor, and you're still presiding this sitting. Is it not a conflict of interest, Honorable Speaker? Because, Honorable Speaker, you've already taken sides. You've already pronounced yourself on this motion and have appended your signature on this motion, and therefore that becomes a conflict of interest. This house should be presided over by an impartial speaker who has not taken any sides. So we need the substantive speaker.
Honorable Ikonya, I want you to
rule on this, Honorable Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. I was...
Wait a minute, Honorable Iganjo. I have
submission.
not completed my statement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I'm sitting here on behalf of the Speaker. And I'm a member of the Speaker's panel.
Yes.
2, for the motion to see the light of the day, it's got to go through the legal process that it has gone up to getting to where we are this afternoon. Therefore, I rule that Honorable Waiganjo should continue with his submission.
Is it not a conflict of interest, Mr. Speaker?
What is the point of information for? Honorable Yvonne. Honorable Yvonne?
I think, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think Honorable Ikonya is out of place. Indeed, you're a member of the Speaker's panel, and you're sitting there in your capacity as a member of that, and your role at this particular point in time is to facilitate the debate. At no point are you, at this point, even though you signed the petition as a member, at this particular time you're merely facilitating. We have not even yet gone to voting. This is very objective. Any member, whether for or against the motion, is free to debate. So I think he's completely out of order.
The Honorable Elik.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I concur with what my colleague, Mheshimiwa Yvonne, is saying. Because, Honorable Speaker, you're not making any contribution. You're just overseeing the process. And it is very clear that the Speaker does not have eyes. And so far, you have not had any eyes. You have been blind to everything. After all, the Honorable Ikonya talks of statutes. May he state in our standing orders where that statute is so that we can understand what he is saying. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Elik. There was another point of information from Honorable Andrew.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to say this. Honorable Ikonya is here in the interest of Waititu, and we all know that. So, can you, Honorable Member from Kiambu County, keep quiet and let the proceed? Don't interfere with the proceedings, please.
Honorable members.
Honorable Speaker, is it in order?
Honorable members, I want to say this, that we are all honorable members in this house, and I don't think it is right to insinuate that there is somebody who is here on behalf of another person.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Order. The members of this house have equal opportunities to air their views at a given time. Therefore, let us desist from getting to that direction and continue with the business on the floor. Honorable Joachim, what's your point of order for?
Asante sana, Bwana Speaker. My point of information is that we gave the other team a fair hearing. We believe each and every member of this county assembly should be here in this house to make his own contribution, including Honorable Ikonya. But most of them, they choose to go to Bogoria to be massaged. So why should they delay us from this process of impeaching Governor Waititu? Thank you.
Honorable Rikiratha.
Mr. Speaker, I believe that my time is still intact.
Yeah, it is.
Contributing, Mr. Speaker, and
you were on the floor before the members raised points of order.
Thank you.
So, Honorable Eliud Goge, you have the floor. Kindly assist Honorable Eliud with the microphone.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Speaker. Nilikuwa nataka kumwarifu Mheshimiwa Ikonya Kiambu Town yule ambaye hajatia saini katika ile makataba ya Speaker's Panel ni yule Simwega ambao alimpeleka pale Nakuru. Kwa hivyo amuremlete aendelee na hiyo mambo mengine hapo.
Well, since the Honorable Ikonya has moved out, I hope he'll be able to continue with the proceedings as he comes back. But in the meantime, you continue with the debate, Honorable Waiganjo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
A point of order from the Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 41.3, I beg to move that this Assembly resolve to extend its morning sitting from 12:30 to around 1 p.m., Mr. Speaker. This has been occasioned by more intent from people to debate, and normally the proceeding normally end at 12:30. So if we don't do the extension right now, we might be bad, and we might be forced to stop our proceedings at 12:30. And I call upon Honorable Njoroge to second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to support that motion, to second that motion, because the business today is very important, and we want to hear all the submissions of all the members, because the issue before this House today is touching the whole county, and the people of Kiambu are watching. They are on their TV screens watching if their representatives, if their MCAs that they elected are in the county assembly, and if they are contributing, supporting their interests in this House. With that, I second.
Honorable members, is that the feeling of the House? Okay, I now propose the question that, pursuant to Standing Order number 41, Section 3 and 9, this Assembly resolves to extend its morning sitting time from 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now propose, I'll put the question, I will now put the question that, pursuant to Standing Order number 41, 3, and 9, this Assembly resolves to extend its morning sitting time from 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order. The Honorable Iganjo, you are on the floor. Continue.
Thank you. For the disturbance that came on the way. Honorable members, it is important to remember that this Assembly is in receipt of petitions from over 210,000 residents of Kiambu from a lobby group dubbed Okoa Kiambu. Mr. Speaker, this Assembly also is in receipt of memoranda, both oral and written, from all the residents, a cross-section of this county, from the 12 sub-counties. Mr. Speaker, when I looked at those petitions and the memoranda, the message was the same across. And it was clear and simple and straight. And the message was Governor Ferdinand, Dongo, Clifford, Waititu, Wainaina, Babayao should go. That is the wish of the people of Kiambu. And Mr. Speaker, this is not a request that the residents of Kiambu are asking, but it is within their constitutional rights to ask that, and they must be heard. And as an assembly, we must listen to them and act upon to their demands. Mr. Speaker, as members of this assembly, we are appealing to the state agencies to recover the lost billions that has happened in this county, and the same to be returned to the county treasury, because this is the only way that this county will be up again. Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, I wish to register my concerns with the security. Because it is on record, Mr. Speaker, that the character in discussion is known to be violent, brutal, and very dangerous. Mr. Speaker, therefore, our security is paramount outside these premises, and it should not be compromised or taken for granted. This is a very serious business. And Mr. Speaker, it is my hope that one day Kenya will go China way, where economic sabotage or corruption is equal to murder, and therefore consequences is dire, which is capital sentence. Mr. Speaker, I rest my case as I support the impeachment of Governor Waititu. Thank you very much.
The Honorable Joseph Kalicho.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For the interest of the public, again, Honorable Karicho from Rikiratha ward. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to support the motion of impeachment of Honorable Ferdinand Waititu. Mr. Speaker, let me repeat the same one that was said by the late Honorable Saitoti, that there comes a time where the nation is more important than individual. It has come a time, Mr. Speaker, where Kiambu is very important than one individual by the name Honorable Ferdinand Waititu. We are not discussing Governor Waititu as we hate the man. One, he's a good man at a personal level. But in terms of managing the county, Mr. Speaker, we say a big no. Mr. Speaker, the strength of a nation is derived from the integrity of its leaders. And the glaring evidence the function as it is stipulated under Section 33 of the County Government Act 2012. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of this great county of Kiambu, and we should note, let me remind this honorable house our core mandate, why we were elected as members of this house. And one is to oversight. We oversight the executive. And when we say there is misappropriation of fund, Mr. Speaker, we know what we are saying. The other two why we are here, Mr. Speaker, is to represent our people. I'm here for the sake of the great people of Rikiratha ward. It's not me, it's my people who have sent me here to represent them. The other function that these honorable members should know, that we are here to legislate and to make policies. Those are our key mandate, Mr. Speaker. And also we have, as I say about the oversight, it is our constitutional obligation to offer that oversight on the public resources on behalf of Wajiko. Remember how Wajiko, outside there, they are suffering. Our hospitals, they have no medicine. Our roads, they are pathetic. Reason? Because we have a manager who cannot listen. We have a manager who like to make the decision as his Kiambu belong to one person. It is not a one-man show, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Governor Waititu has failed completely to uphold the integrity on the management of public resources, which he took the oath of the office, Mr. Speaker. And I believe the mover have mentioned all those allegations. One, as leaders, we need to be accountable. Governor Waititu has lacked the accountability. Violation of the fundamental right of property for every Kenyan by unlawful acquiring and owned by a widow. That property, Mr. Speaker, is a big shame. Every Kenyan, people from this Kiambu County, they have right to own property, Mr. Speaker. Incurring unsustainable wage bill above the acceptable threshold as provided under the Public Finance Management County Government Regulation of 2015, 47% of the revenue collected from the mover 2017-2018. Mr. Speaker, you could imagine where we are going forward on other budget 2019-2020. If we have incurred all this, do we have a future on the other budget? To us, we see a confusion ahead, Mr. Speaker. Chapter 6 of our Constitution, it provides the threshold upon which every reader should be evaluated. Just to mention a few: demonstrate respect for the people, bring honor to the nation and dignity to the office of the governor. We need to promote the public confidence in the integrity of that office. The responsibility to serve the people and not to rule them, Mr. Speaker. Since Governor Waititu was elected as the governor of Kiambu, he became a king, a Darura. He's not Darura, Mr. Speaker. He's not a king, but a CEO of this great county, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Governor Babayao has failed on this, on test of integrity. And therefore, this assembly, we need to put to stop onto this going forward. And I would remind my colleagues in Honorable House and this assembly that we cannot hide our hand into the sand and assume that things are okay. Things are not okay, Mr. Speaker. People are really suffering. And I want to be among the history maker of Kiambu. Plus this Honorable House, we want one day to be remembered. The way we are remembering the Kapeguria 6 today, I want this Honorable House to remember us going forward. 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, I want us to be remembered that we stood and we said no to impunity to this great county, Mr. Speaker. What about the future of our children? The future of our generation, it lies to this Honorable House. this afternoon. Mr. Speaker, Governor Waititu, like my colleague has said, he ought to be resigned as we are talking. For us to end the impunity, Waititu Babayao must go. To bring sanity in Kiambu without fear, Mr. Speaker, Babayao, Waititu, Baba Jerry must go. For Kiambu to regain its greatness without fear of what will happen later, Waititu must go. To have an intelligent governance on Kiambu going forward, without fear, without being coerced, Waititu must go. To have a clean Kiambu, and Kiambu to regain, hospital regain their glory, Governor Waititu must go. And for that reason, I would urge honorable members, it doesn't matter how number you are, but you have made a history to the people of Kiambu. And I will say again, you remember. Time will come and you remember. I beg to support. Thank you.
The Honorable Elijah Joroge.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm going to be very brief because my fellow MCAs have contributed. And Mr. Speaker, because of the guests, my name is Elijah Njoroge, the MCA for Ruiru Biashara Ward, and I'm supporting this motion, Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the people of Ruiru. Today, when I was coming, Mr. Speaker, I got late a bit because of one mess that has happened in Ruiru, Mr. Speaker, under the leadership of Governor Waititu, where a road from Thika Superhighway passing through Rainbow Hotel up to bypass that was constructed 6 months ago with tarmac is full of potholes, Mr. Speaker. And the people of Ruiru have sent me to tell them and come and represent them by saying that they don't want poor services again, Mr. Speaker. I also want to join my fellow MCAs by saying that we want to eliminate greed in the county government of Kiambu, the greed that has been exhibited by Governor Waititu, Mr. Speaker. When Governor Waititu was taking power in Kiambu County, there was a slogan that was with Wananchi in Kiambu, that they are removing the snake with their eggs, Mr. Speaker. And me and the members in this house don't want to be counted as eggs again, Mr. Speaker. And also, there was another slogan that was prophesied one day, that the people of Kiambu will one day say, Kafa Kafogo, Mr. Speaker. I want to say that, Mr. Speaker, having come from Ruiru and having campaigned against the United for Kiambu, I want to confirm that Governor Waititu has been unable to unify the said United for Kiambu, has been unable to work with his own people. He has been unable to run the county government, and he has made Kiambu County a one-man affair and a family business that, Mr. Speaker, cannot be tolerated in Kiambu County. When we hear that we are electing people, Mr. Speaker, the people are arguing on the ground that the next time they may not elect people who purport to have gone for university degree outside Kenya, Mr. Speaker, because their academic qualifications and intelligence and knowledge may not be well verified, Mr. Speaker. We are born, raised, married, educated in Kiambu County, and people are regretting having brought a person whose natives is not well known and whose education institutions he attended are not well identified, Mr. Speaker. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I want to join my colleagues by saying that Governor Waititu is not the right governor for Kiambu County, and our people are regretting. And in any event that he comes back to Kiambu, Kiambu will not be a county government anymore. It will be a family business, Mr. Speaker. And we cannot tolerate that, Mr. Speaker. I am proud to join the MCAs who are present today because they refused to be bought and they refused to be compromised. They also refused to be promised funny promises that some of our few MCAs were promised and failed to come and present the people who voted for them, Mr. Speaker. We want to say that we are supporting the move against corruption that has been started by the President of the Republic of Kenya. And I want to reiterate and say that Kiambu County government should be the head in leading the whole of the Republic of Kenya to demonstrate that corruption should be fought and that, Mr. Speaker, the President's war against corruption will be successful, Mr. Speaker. We want to tell the people of Kiambu today and this hour that our work is oversight. Our work is not to employ governors. Our work is to fire the governors who we feel have not been able to work for the people. And our work is to remove them from office, and that is what we are doing today, Mr. Speaker. That being the case, Mr. Speaker, we want to say that we are washing our hands as MCAs, that we have done what is supposed to be done by MCAs. The rest of the part should be done by any other person according to the law, and we are going to clean Kiambu County, Mr. Speaker. With those few remarks, having brought what I was told to bring here by the people of Biashara Ward, I want to say that I support the motion and say that Governor Ferdinand Dongo Waititu Clifford must go. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
What is your point of order?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, from the mood of the House, Honorable Speaker, it is very clear that we are repeating ourselves and we have
Can you change from that mic? It's not...
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I believe now it's audible. Honorable Speaker, the mood of the House is clear that each and every speaker is in concurrent with the motion, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, due to the interest of time, if I find favor in your eyes, I beseech you to invoke study order number 118
request the mover to reply.
Well, if that be the case, I therefore put the question, which is that the mover be now be called upon to reply. As many of our appeal and say aye. Hold on. Other members, as many as would be our contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it, and before the mover is called upon to reply, I wish to give the following guidance. Honourable members, I wish to draw your attention to the provision starting number 90, 1B, which provides that, and I quote, right to be heard. Whenever any written law or this or the standing orders requires an assembly to hear a person on the grounds of removal from office or in such similar circumstances, the assembly shall hear the person, 1, at the date and time to be determined by the speaker, and the speaker determined that the date be today and the time be from 9 o'clock. 2, for a duration of not more than 2 hours, or such further time as the speaker may in each case determine, and in such other manner in order as the speaker shall in each case determine. Further, standing number 90, 1, 3 to 2 states the record, when the speaker is satisfied that the motion has been adequately debated, the speaker shall call upon the person who is being removed from office to answer issues raised in the debate, and thereafter call upon the mover of the motion to reply. Therefore, before the mover is called upon to reply, I ought to have given this opportunity to His Excellency the Governor, Ferdinand Waititu Prt, the Governor of Kiambu, to proceed to answer the issues raised in the debate for a maximum of duration of 2 hours. 2, that His Excellency the Governor shall be heard in silence, and thereafter I will then call upon the mover to reply. My attention has been drawn to the fact that His Excellency the Governor is not in the House, but I have also been informed that he did send 2 of his lawyers who are in the speaker's gallery to hear the debate, and I believe they have followed the debate. And that being the case, and him not being present, therefore we shall move to the next course of action. I wish also to draw your attention to provision of starting number 90, which provides a record right to be heard whenever any written law or these orders requires the assembly to refer to or form a committee for purposes of considering a petition or a proposal for the removal of a person from office. The person being removed from office shall be availed in writing the information contained in the petition or proposed, and shall be entitled to legal representation and availed with the report of the committee, together with any other evidence adduced, and such notes or papers presented to the committee at least 3 days before the debate of the motion. That one we have complied and we have done. The governor was served with the papers 3 days before today. B, requires the assembly to hear the person on grounds of removal from office, or in such similar circumstances, the assembly shall hear the person, 1, at a date and time to be determined by the speaker, for a duration of not more than 2 hours, in such other manner and order as the speaker shall in each determine. Honourable members, in fulfillment of the aforementioned provisions of standing orders, I confirm that His Excellency the Governor, Ferdinand Waititu Prt, the Governor of Kiambu County, was afforded a copy of the motion on his removal from office, and also invited to appear before this assembly during the sitting so as to answer issues raised in the debate. Accordingly, I would have designated him a seat on my right hand, suitable for a place to admitting His Excellency the Governor of Kiambu for purposes of facilitating the hearing. Further to that designation, I am in receipt of a letter from Advocate Anthony Kago and Advocate Degwa Njiru, which states, and I quote, the above matter refers, we, the undersigned, have been instructed by Honorable Ferdinand Waititu Prt to appear at the Assembly today, December 19th, 2019 at 0900 hours and represent him accordingly. And that has happened. Kindly take this as a jury-served notice of our appearance, yours faithfully, Anthony Kago Advocate and Jiru Dego Advocate, and I hereby recognize their presence in the Speaker's gallery. That having taken place, I therefore call upon the mover to reply.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And mine will be very brief. I would first want to thank the entire membership of this House, especially those who took time to attend today's session and contribute. And I would finish with a quote from Martin Luther King, that our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Another quote by Joe Biden, the former Vice President of the United States of America, is that fighting corruption is not just an issue of good governance, it's an issue of self-defense, and it's an issue of patriotism. Thank you very much for your patriotism. Let's do this. Thank you. God bless you.
Honourable members, that being the case, I now before I put the question, I wish to draw your attention to the provision of section 33(2) of the County Government Act and starting on by 84(10), which provides that when a motion has been passed by 2/3 of 4 members of the Assembly, the Speaker shall inform the Speaker of the Senate of the resolution. In accordance with starting number 96(2), which states that, and I quote, the Speaker shall direct a division to be taken in every instance where the Constitution, any written law, and these standing orders lays down the fixed majority is necessary to decide the question. In accordance with starting number 97(1) on roll call voting, which provides that when the Speaker directs a roll call voting to be taken, the division bell shall be rung for 10 minutes. I now direct that the division bell be rung for 10 minutes. Kashara. Honourable members, you know very well the standing orders provides that when the bell is being rung, trying to create quorum, you cannot leave because it will defeat the whole reason why we are ringing the bell to raise the quorum. So I advise that every member remains within the chamber until 10 minutes are over.